Pictures of Singapore's taste of aerial war reveal the damage done to Raffles Square in the heart of the island shopping centre. Department stores, shops and business houses. The same old story, with street clocks registering the early morning hour when death and destruction came at the hands of Hitler's Yellow Brothers.
Well, I went into the Merchant Marine in 1944. I was born and raised in Connecticut. And, you know, you're close to the ocean and the ships and everything. So 6 of us in my neighborhood, we went down, we joined the Merchant Marine. We sailed out of New York and Boston till the end of World War. The war in Europe, they call it VE Day, Victory in Europe. And then I came to the West Coast and was sailing out of San Francisco and Seattle. Till 46, I went back around, gave it up. I was out in Los Angeles, yeah, working out there, and then when I got the notice, I went down and enlisted in the Marine Corps. That was in October 48. It's different than the military, you know, you're not confined or under that way the military is. Yeah. You only sign on, when you sign on the ship, then you're with them. Once you leave the ship, you're on your own. But if you stay off too long, they would draft you. That's what happened to one of my friends that went in with me, stayed off too long, the Army drafted him.
How did it feel when you first started? Like, when you first joined, do you remember, like how did you feel?
First joined the Marine Corps? What did I get into? You know, it's always go, go, go. It's like when World War II in the Merchant Marine, everything was relaxed and everything, and here is go, go, go.
What wars were you?
World War II, Korea War.
Okay.
And how many years did you serve in total?
About 7.
7 years, wow.
Do you come from a military background?
Well, yeah, my dad was in World War I, the Army in World War I. My brother's was in the Army in World War II. I was living, this was after I got out of the Marine Corps. I got out in '52 and I was down back in Los Angeles and was living in these apartments with these other friends. And she, along with some friends, came visit another guy, and I met her, and we start dating and everything, and about a year or so later we got married.
So were you involved in were you still involved in the military, or in the armed forces after you were married, or was it over?
No, it was over.
Did you have any kids?
I have 4 boys.
4 boys.
Wow.
Are they in the armed forces also?
None of them went in the armed forces, yeah. The youngest is 40-something, the oldest 57.
Did they all go to college and follow, or like get careers and...
2 of them went to college, and 3 of them live in Costa Mesa. In fact, one lives with me now. He was in San Diego and took a job up here, so he moved up till he gets settled. And
that must be fun having him around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have a nickname? Did they call you Bob, or did they call you anything?
Mostly Doogie.
Those were for the show, right?
I don't know. Tell us about the 12 weeks of training that you received when you first got to the Marine Corps.
Well, it's go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Holler, 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 and you know, no rest. I think we went to bed about 9 o'clock, and you get up at 5 or 6, and then you have a week. You just go. At that time, we went to a place up in La Jolla called. Was it La Jolla? Yeah, called Camp Matthews. That was where we fired the rifle. You spend 1 week just learning how to fire the rifle. Everybody goes in the Marine Corps has to learn how to fire the rifle. That's their primary function. They can turn around after that and be a cook or typist or whatever, but basically they were riflemen.
So after the first week of rifle training, did you specialize into anything?
No, we're still in boot camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they specialties come by a lot of times by how you fare in these different tests that they give you. And of course, then there wasn't much like it is today with the computers and different things. They got so many different things. But when we went to Camp Pendleton, you know, I was assigned to a machine gun platoon, so I was machine gun.
Oh, that's interesting. That must have been a lot of. Did it like when you were shooting the machine gun? Did they have like good ear protection? No.
It was really
Back
loud.
then.
Yeah. So was it like really loud firing that machine gun?
Well, yeah, you're laying down most of the time, and
Yeah.
it's right there.
You said that in the training you went to bed at 9 and got up at 5:30 or 6. Was going to bed at 9 late back then? Was that like
No.
No, that was average. Can you give us like a description of the Merchant Marines, like what it's about?
Yeah, it's mostly freighters, tankers, and troop ships. They're the people that run the ships, man the ships that carry the cargo and the fuel and everything for the troops and
Yeah.
tanks and all. And we carry just about anything you can think of: tanks, airplanes. And
Yeah. What kind of did you receive any accolades for your service? Like
In the Merchant Marine, they don't give out much unless you're torpedo, and they give you something saying you're a torpedo. But you know, most of them that got torpedo didn't. We went into Sasebo. We used to go into Sasebo for ammunition, and when we went into Sasebo, we all got the 8 of us, 9 of us got a Bronze Star for our trip into the north.
Did you have a position in the Merchant Marines? Like what was?
Well, you start off, if you're working in the engine room, you start off as a wiper, then you work up to fireman or oiler, deck engineer, and then we're still on Merchant Marine. We're going to switch to the Marine Corps later. They classify it depending on your health and everything. You could be 1A, 3A, 4A, or whatever.
So they said you're a whatever.
What were you classified?
What class?
1A.
1A. Is that the top?
Yeah. You're ready. Be ready.
Yeah.
Well, in the Merchant Marine, most of it was you were being chased, you know, by airplanes or submarines or things.
Tell us how you got from the Merchant Marines into like
The Marine Corps.
into the Marine Corps. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I stopped sailing in 1946. I went back to Connecticut. Then in 47, we had to sign up for the draft, and I was still draft age. And I didn't know if they'd draft me or not. But I came out to California and was working. Then I got a draft notice. I went down and joined the Marine Corps.
Oh, so you were drafted?
No.
Oh.
I got a draft notice. I wasn't drafted. I got a draft notice from back in Connecticut.
What did the draft notice say?
Just that you're 1A or 3A or whatever you were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Subject to call, whatever.
So that was just like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, I should just go do it. Is that is that your mentality? Okay. So tell us about were you in the Korean War? You were over in Korea. So tell us about being there.
I was in Kagoshima, Japan when the Korean War broke out. See, when we came back from the trip up to Alaska, they sent down a request. They wanted 40 enlisted men and 2 officers out of the 5th Marines, some from each regiment or battalion. And so I put in for that because they were going to go to the Far East, and I thought that would be better than running up and down the hills in Pendleton.
How was the food?
Well, in the Marine Corps, the November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, and they all go all out to get you a turkey dinner, hot turkey dinner. And then we had that. The time it went over, sat down, it was cold. But, you know, if they could, it was all right. But over there, you know, you just rations and everything's cold. And once you can light a fire, and you couldn't at night. So.
Did you guys eat a lot of Korean food, or no? Stay away from that. Yeah.
I don't think you could get it.
Yeah.
Where I was, you could anyway, because I was always up in the hills and the mountains and stuff. Our home base was going to be Yokosuka, Japan. So we got there in sometime in May, and we would go around to different Japanese ports and check these fishing boats and everything, Japanese fishing boats for contraband and everything. While I was on the detail, I never found anything. All we did was scare the poor old Japanese fishermen.
What were you looking for?
Some type of contraband, he says. I don't know, it was drugs or whatever they were looking for. But
Yeah.
when I was there, I never found it. So they, looking at, the Navy ships, they got charts of all seas all around the world. Looking at the charts of North Korea coming down, they seen these railroad tracks coming down out of Manchuria, Russia, into North Korea. So the commander got the bright idea. We'd go ashore and find a tunnel, set charges in the tunnel. When the train come in, they'd blow the train in the tunnel. So the four that went was his orderlies, which I was one. And we transferred, that's picture there, we're transferring to the destroyer Mansfield. Then to the Mansfield, didn't draw as much water as the cruiser, so they could go in closer. So we went into the Mansfield that night. It was the 11th of July, 50. And was us four Marines with Lieutenant Johnson and Commander Porter and four sailors went to the Mansfield. Then we get back into a whaleboat and we got in close and went ashore, and it was, midnight or so, and dark and all heck, and we couldn't find the tunnel. They found out we were on top of it, walking around on it. So we went down in the tunnel and they set the charges. All the Marines were there for security, and Lieutenant Johnson, he did all the setting the charges. They set the charges, and we get back on the whaleboat and went back to the Mansfield, destroyer Mansfield, and they said that from the Juno they could see the train come in, and it didn't come out, so it always seems a B flash, so it was successful.
So after you got out of service, did you go to school or did you just start a career?
I went to a little school, but I wasn't much of a student. Just concentrating on that.
So what was your job after you served?
I was working for a company up in Los Angeles, Certified Grocers, in the general merchandise. We'd go around and service the stores. And
okay. Did you make any really important while you were serving in Korea?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, like the colonels there. We get together about every 6-7 weeks. We have lunch together.
Are you part of a veteran club?
Like the American Legion now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just joined that about 3 years ago, the American Legion.
Oh.
I went down there, and the one in Newport there?
Yeah.
I went down there in the 70s, it must have been, and went and talked to them. They said, we're having some internal problems, can you come back? I wasn't too interested in all of that, so I didn't go back.